Today I'm going to be giving Rick Shiels a golf lesson. If he could get this down, his game would go completely to the next level. Ooh, ooh! If anything, feel like the right arm was extending down this way.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a special guest, Rick Shiels. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Today we're gonna be helping him with his golf swing. A lot of it's basic tips that can actually improve your game. So be sure to check out, listen closely, and you might find some little nuggets in there that can help you play your best golf.
I need it.
So again, guys, I've been playing with Rick for a few days now. He's got a good game. There's just a couple things that he struggles with, which I find pretty detrimental to him, which he likes to pick the ball. That's fine. I would prefer using the ground to your advantage. He loves picking the ball. That's great, but it's not very versatile in certain situations. There are times where he just gets a bad lie and he can't get into the ground. And I think that's a big problem when you're trying to play golf at a higher level, is that you can't just do the same picking strike every single time. You've got to get down through it. It'll allow him to get a little bit more compression. I think I've got one good drill for him to start off. They'll help him get a little bit more compression and allow him to get the golf ball in the air farther with a little bit better spin. Just gonna try and compress the ball better. So what's your biggest miss? And this is the first question I ask everyone. I want to know what your biggest miss is whenever I'm trying to help someone.
I would say, actually, when I get going, I'm out on the golf course, I actually find myself, I strike my irons less consistent when I'm on the range. So I'll catch a few thin, I'll catch a few fat. When I'm actually on the golf course, I actually feel like that kind of gets closer and closer to nearer to better.
And again, growing up in the UK, you just played golf, right, rather than practice, right?
Like, we don't have the luxury really of having grass ranges, so even our practice before we go and play is either on an artificial mat.
Oh, that's the worst.
Or just into a drive or into a net. Like, my directional miss, got a bit of a two-way miss, but my worst one is the one that goes left. I hate the one that goes left.
Okay.
So I do actually think my strike, if I really kind of get back to it and just focus on my actual strike.
Look, you have a great setup. Like, that's a nice strike. And that's the way I want you to strike it every time. Now, the direction may be a fraction left, but there is some good mechanics there. In order to strike it a little bit more consistently, I want you to go through this drill. And have you done this drill before in the bunker where you draw a line and you strike through it?
I reckon I've done it in a bunker to practice bunker shots.
Oh, no.
Rather than actually trying to hit full shots.
We gotta expose you to something.
Okay, let's do it.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be good. First thing is you go into a bunker, place where it's safe to hit full swings out of. This is super important for consistency in ball striking. And I want Rick to, because if he could get this down, his game would go completely to the next level. I'm telling you right now. So you get in a bunker,
okay,
and you draw, and we'll just go this way. We'll draw a nice line. And what I want you to do is set the club in here. This is a big golfing machine thing. I don't know if you know anything about the golf machine.
Absolutely.
Ben Doyle taught me this well, Mike Shy actually taught me this, but came from Ben Doyle, where he drew a line in the sand and he'd take it back and he'd strike it right on that line. See that?
Yeah.
So that's the proper angle of attack. That's a little forward, that's behind it, right? So you can easily see when you're striking it good where that divot will start, which you want it to start on the front edge of the line. So you drag it back, pump it through. And you just do that the whole way through. You can do small chip shots, you can do just a little whoop, boom. And
just controlling low point.
You got it. And so this will help you get through the ground more consistently. Let's draw a new line here. There were times back in the day when I was learning to play golf where I'd go through a full bunker of lines, drag it back, and then deliver it through. So again, see how far forward that was?
Yeah. I
want you to start entering the ground right on top of it. Set it in there. Feel like you're really extending your arm through the ground after the... See how there wasn't as much sand? I want you to decimate the ground in front of it.
think the location was better, but it wasn't as deep.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is perfect, Rick. That's not. So this is giving you critical information right away on every single swing that you make.
Well, I was way behind.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't really focus on the sight of it. Just focus on where you're feeling the club on the ground.
Too far in front.
Yeah. This is huge.
Yeah. This is what I see.
A little behind. This is giving you immediate feedback. That's perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what you want to do there.
It's a bit disconcerting that out of that whole line, I really only did two that were as good as they should have been.
But here's the deal. That means there's a lot of room for improvement.
Of course.
And when I first saw you swing, that's exactly what I noticed. Just the inconsistency in how you were delivering that club.
Yeah.
And if you just got that, how much more consistent you would be with your ball striking.
Yeah.
And I'm talking driver even.
Oh.
This will help the driver because it gives you the perspective of where you need to extend the arms through the impact zone.
So would you then draw a line and put a ball in?
You got it. You can absolutely put a ball in. Just drag it. So really get your ball striking nice out of the sand too.
Is that a smidgen clean?
A little too clean for my liking.
And would you want to see more depth into the sand?
Depth.
I thought the location wasn't a mile away then.
Location's perfect.
Show me what
Yeah,
depth.
so exactly. So if I'm doing this, right, I'm taking it back and I'm boom. See how it's starting right on it?
And
Right?
it's deeper.
And it's deep. There it is. That's a strike you want. You actually thin a lot of shots and you lose ball speed because of it. And you don't produce enough spin sometimes because of it. So if you do get this to where it's being struck down into the ground, you could really transform your game.
That's the issue with me. I feel like I can hit good shots, but when something's just out, when I've just not quite got it, my scores can escalate because I just don't feel like I'm striking it well enough.
And when I'm not striking well enough, I always go back to this drill. It's actually solid.
You know, so that was good location.
Yep.
And a bit deeper into the ground.
Yep. I feel like you're hitting in the bottom groove a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Little thin? Little too thin there?
Yeah. I suppose the beauty of this is there's no forgiveness.
Nope.
And again, not dissing on driving range mats and whatever, but kind of hitting a lot of driving range mats. Often there's a bit of, you can hit behind it and get away with it. Just on this, obviously we're focusing right down here on strike. Is there anything glaringly obvious that I'm doing position-wise? Because my only thing, I feel like sometimes I get a little tiny bit sway, just a touch behind
So
the ball.
one of the things that I see sometimes, especially when you're driving, is you do sway to the right-hand side, rather than keep the inside part of the heel more like this, which flared like that, and you can turn around it.
Yeah.
Because when you move back, then your low point moves back.
Yeah, I hit up on the ball too much for driving, for my swing speed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like your swing speed,
Different. It's
I
totally
can hit
different
7
situation.
degrees up.
Yep.
But with my swing speed, the 7 degrees up isn't any good.
So again, feel like your heel, you're actually going this way into it, and you feel like you've got a little more pressure into the back heel. Yeah. You still want to plant that foot. It's gonna be weird. That's bigger angle of attack.
Not far off.
Strike wasn't too bad actually.
Just a tiny bit behind.
It's gonna feel weird though. Again, that's why I don't like changing a lot of body stuff in people. I like giving them visual feedback mechanisms. It's too tough to change someone's feel right away.
That strike was good.
That was really nice.
For me, I've really just focused on trying to stay on top of the ball more.
There you go.
Almost trying to keep my sternum more on top of it and slightly left.
There's too many different ways to swing a golf club and feel things in the golf swing for me to ever tell you what's right. But what I do know, that was beautiful. What I do know
That was nice.
is giving you visual feedback to put you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would teach people.
He was the famous tour pro and an older tour pro now, and they had a tree at the driving range, and basically there was like, right, to draw it, you just got to learn to start it right at that tree and shape it round it.
Yep.
To fade it, you got to start left of that tree and fade it round it. And if you had that visual all the time, eventually you're going to do it.
Yeah, right.
Eventually you're going to learn how to do it.
Right.
Oh,
A little thin. Don't be afraid to use the ground.
I didn't mind that one. It felt like it was a tiny bit clean, but certainly ball first was like, yes.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'm into that.
Yeah, just get that right arm to feel like, if anything, feel like the right arm's extending down this way.
Yeah.
Don't feel like it's extending down that way. Feel like it's extending towards almost your left foot. Ooh, that was different. A little behind it, but that was mint. That divot was really nice. Did that give you a better visual at all? Feeling like you straighten more in front of you?
It gives me for me, when I like visual training aids like this, I'm a big fan of this, but I also feel like I need a couple of little triggers.
Yeah.
Just something just to think of. And at the moment I'm going sternum central, extend the arm.
Yep, it's perfect.
Sternum central gets my strike location at the right point.
Yep.
Extend the arm gets the depth of it.
Correct.
Divot.
That was straightened too fast.
Yeah,
Just a little too fast.
Certainly off sand like this, you have to be so on it. And again, I think, as Bryson alluded to a minute ago, when you practice off artificial grass, and again, sometimes that's your only practice, You've just got to be so unbelievably aware of where your low point is. Otherwise, you could be practicing the wrong things.
That's where, if you start doing that, take the ball away and start creating divots in front. So I want you to do a couple more of these. Really drive that on. Too late? Nope. Get yourself a better feeling of where to end up the sand.
Too bad.
Better there. It just shows the sensitivity, how sensitive you are to this. And if you could find a way to be less sensitive with this, man, you're on your way to better golf. If you can hit that line every single time, I want you to just for 1 second, just for fun, I want you to see how many times I actually, on 10 swings, hit the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's pretty impressive.
6.
Wow.
7. 8. 9.
Jesus.
Didn't miss it once.
And give me one more. The thing is, that's how well he knows his low point. Like, you can. Right, I'm gonna do 3 in a row. And I'm gonna smoke one.
And then I'll give you a couple more out of the. I want to see how that translates over to the grass. Nice.
1.
Really get focused on that point. That's beautiful, Rick.
2.
You got
3.
the golf ball in front of you. Let's go. Nice.
4.
That was pretty good.
That was really good. Just got a bit sand in my hand. But yeah, that was really good.
Let's go see how it translates over to the grass now.
Let's go.
I really want to sense that compression off the face. So again, that's entering too fast. So don't be afraid to hit the ground. I feel like you're hitting the ground in front of you.
Yeah, of course.
It's the same thing as the bunker, just what you're doing in the bunker. Yes. Oh, that sounds perfect. That sounds like a perfect strike, Rick. To be honest, on the golf course, you know how you hit the 6-iron far?
Yeah.
I literally think this is why. On the golf
Because I
course, you
actually
just
hit
do
it.
it. Yeah, and it goes farther because of that.
Strike location again was good in relation to the ball, but it wasn't deep enough.
Correct. Okay, just for fun, I want you to make a massive divot in front of the ball.
Okay, well, let's use that as a comparison.
Yep.
And I'll hit one with the deeper.
Don't be afraid to throw it in the ground. Super hard. Ooh, that's a golf shot.
Sounded a bit different.
That's
isn't
exactly what it should be.
it? Just for the even if I was to put this tee peg right underneath my ball, so we get a bit of a
Yeah, this is a good reference.
reference point. Oh, I hit the tee.
Hit the tee. So that's another good little drill you could have. See how I hit the tee? There's dirt behind it. That means you chunked it, right? So the key is to have it happen in front of the tee. Money. That was nice. So how do you think you can get to that position at impact a little bit easier? Like, what are you feeling in your body?
There's 2 main focus points when I get it right. I feel like my weight stays central, and then during the downswing it shifts 60, 70, 80% to the left.
So you move more left.
Yeah. When I get it wrong, I still feel like I stay central, but then I notice that I stay central. I don't shift.
Oh, Rick, that's a strike.
That was better on that.
That's amazing. That sounds good. Man, that's exactly what I want to see. That's okay. It's fine. It'll do. But I want it to sound just for perspective.
Go for it, please do.
Like, if I'm trying to hit a really nicely struck shot, like,
It's different, isn't it?
it's just through the ground better. Let me see your club, just to give a better reference. So if I got his club,
I can guarantee you one thing, my golf club's never been hit. My 7-iron's never been hit like that before.
But I really feel like it's almost getting your hands lower. I feel like if you get the club out too early, you can chunk it early, and then you try and pick it.
So we were chatting about it just kind of casually yesterday. I think sometimes when I go left, I end up getting a little bit here.
When you hook the ball, when you hook the ball.
More on trying to get...
Yes. Yeah, hands forward, hands low and forward.
Because then that's going to move my low point forward anyway.
Yep. Ooh, ooh!
That was nice.
Rick!
Just the flight's better as well, it's stronger, isn't it?
100%. It's going to penetrate the wind so much better.
And it doesn't go left as much.
Mm-hmm. I like this. Even that's okay. See how he thinned it? It kind of spun up and went in the air? And that's okay. That's still a better miss. So now be aggressive, swing really hard, just for fun.
I want to see very quickly, just look at like shallower.
Yep.
Starting to get kind of deeper.
Exactly. You see the difference? So a lot deeper over here.
That's it, harder.
Yep. So I want you to do the same thing, but be more aggressive now. Oh! That sounded perfect.
That was better, wasn't it?
And now, because of that, you're going to start connecting with shots in bad lies, good lies all the time. Oh, Rick, I don't know what else to say. I mean, that's perfect. That's a fraction chunk of anything, but like that sounds so much better than what you were doing before.
And rightly so to some parts. I've been very much focused on technique currently, getting my club face back better, working on a few other things. But the one thing I have neglected more, and I know that better play this.
Yeah. I mean, you saw what I did.
Yeah.
Any tour pro could pretty much do that.
Yeah, you kind of, you're finding the answers in the dirt.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Dig it out of the dirt. That's what Hogan said.
You've got to be able to know where that low point is, how to control it, different situations for different ball flights, and it's the thing that I've definitely neglected the most.
And that's why I'm harping on it so much.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Strike is king.
So again, going back to you guys, the listeners here, strike is king for sure. Getting into a bunker, drawing a line, making sure you can hit 10 in a row. If you can do, let's just do 5 in a row for you guys. If you can do 5 in a row where you're consistently hitting the front edge of that line, you got that taken care of. You come out to the range. If you're still striking inconsistently, I would recommend putting the hands forward and feel like you're driving the right arm past the left foot for right-handed golfers. And then lastly, I mean, the last thing I could say is just be a little more aggressive. Don't be afraid. Use the ground to your advantage. Those 3 things should help you strike it more effectively for you on the golf course. Get you some lower scores and allow you to strike the golf ball like Rick.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That's awesome. And who knows, I'll be shooting 58 in no time.